Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you are good. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the GoPro Hero 10 and the GoPro Max. We're going to be comparing these two cameras. We're going to see what the difference between the two are, how each of them are used. These are two of GoPro's flagship products. The Hero 10 is their latest action camera, and the GoPro Max is their 360 camera, which came out about a year and a half ago now. Last year, I compared the GoPro Hero 9 with the GoPro Max, so I'm basically doing a similar video now to see what's changed, to see if the Hero 10 could make up for some of the flaws of the Hero 9, and also what the difference between these two cameras are, because some people get a bit confused as to how you can use each of these cameras. They're definitely meant for different uses, or at least you can definitely use either of them for different things, depending on what you want to film and how you want to film it. So we're going to be looking at a lot of side-by-side footage to see what the difference is. So let's get going. So just a quick roundup of the specs of both of these cameras, or basically what the main headline features of each of them are. Let's start with the GoPro Hero 10. The Hero 10, compared to the Hero 9, comes with a new chip in the camera, which basically allows it to shoot higher resolution and higher frame rates. The maximum resolution for the Hero 10 is 5.3K resolution at 60 frames per second. The Hero 10 can shoot 23 megapixel photos. It comes with what GoPro calls Hyper Smooth 4.0, which is how it stabilizes moving video, very important for an action camera. And it can shoot super slow motion video at 2.7K at 240 frames per second. Now, the GoPro Max is a slightly different beast. Compared to the GoPro Hero 10, the Max has two lenses as opposed to just one. This allows it to shoot 360 video, which is basically what the camera is built for, what it's designed to do. And in 360 mode, it can shoot 5.6K video at 30 frames per second. However, if you did want to shoot normal video using just one of the lenses, that's also possible. It's called Hero mode. But when you use that mode, the resolution is limited to 1440p at 60 frames per second. The Max also features a large touchscreen display, and it also features GoPro's Hypersmooth Stabilization. Now, you're going to see later that stabilization with a 360 camera is way better than with any other kind of camera. That is one of the main advantages of the Max compared to the Hero 10, and we're going to see what that means for when you actually use it. And if you are really into shooting very high intensity action stuff, the Max may actually be a better option for you. So that's just a basic overview of the specs, but let's just start looking at some footage now, because that's really what matters. Specs can only tell you so much. What's it like to use in reality? If we look at some side-by-side footage straight away, the first thing you can see is the difference in quality. The Hero 10 is always going to be able to shoot higher quality video than the Max. The reason for this is that 5.3K resolution that the Hero 10 can shoot is limited to a certain range. It's limited to a certain angle. All of that resolution is just from one lens, and so all of those pixels are fit into a certain, much smaller frame than compared to the GoPro Max, which uses both lenses, so those pixels are spread 360 degrees all the way around. So even though the resolution of the Max is higher, because they have to be spread out over a much wider area, the actual quality of the video is not going to be as good. The Hero 10 is super impressive, I think, even though it has the same lens as the Hero 9. It has a new chip, it has, I think, more advanced color technology, and that can make a big difference. I think the quality is so good. It's almost cinematic. If you play around with the colors in post-production, you could get some super high quality images, videos from the Hero 10. But what the Max can do, what the Hero 10 can't, if we demonstrate in this video, is you can move things around. You can literally move the camera as if you were moving in real life. Because you're shooting in 360 degrees, you can choose where the camera is pointing at any one time, even after you shot the video. You do this in the app, or in Premiere Pro, or even on the GoPro app on the desktop. You can manipulate the video so that it pans wherever you want. It looks up, looks down, you can do whatever you want. You can basically control where the camera is pointing after you've shot your video, which is something unique to 360 cameras, and as far as GoPro cameras are concerned, the Max is the only camera you can do this with. So really the difference is between high quality or creative control. The Hero 10, you get a lot higher quality, but with the Max, you get way more creative control after you've shot your video. So I think you can see this from the examples that I've been showing you as I've been talking. The Hero 10 just shooting amazing quality images. I'm not so much of a huge action kind of guy. I use these cameras mostly for like vlogging and like cinematic stuff rather than super high intensity action stuff. But even if we consider just moving video, the Max also demonstrates way better stabilization, even though the GoPro Hero 10 features really good stabilization for a action camera with just one lens using Hyper Smooth 4.0. I do see how it works. It basically zooms in a little bit, you lose a little bit of that resolution, it crops some of the video out and uses some of that crop video to stabilize the footage. That is actually an innovation that comes from developing the GoPro Max, so that is something that they've learned how to do. There are several modes on the Hero 10 camera, cinematic, action, I think just standard. There's a button that you press or a key on the screen that basically activates the Hyper Smooth stabilization at the highest setting. But when you do that, you do lose some of the quality of the footage. Once again, on the Hero 10, it crops in your video slightly, so it's no longer going to come out at the highest resolution, but you do get way better stabilization. In my tests, I was just walking, running, going upstairs, that kind of thing. As you can see here, it does an okay job because I am really moving the camera quite a lot here. But compared to the GoPro Max, it can't really beat it. The reason for that is the GoPro Max has so much more footage to work with when it's trying to work out how to stabilize footage. Again, because it's shooting 360 degrees, it just has all that information and therefore it can completely, basically perfectly stabilize your footage. It almost looks like I'm using some kind of gimbal with the Max, but I'm really not. It's just straight from the camera. But again, you are sacrificing quality there, and that is something that people may not be willing to do. The Max also features something called horizon lock, which basically locks the camera or the view into one place, so no matter which way you are moving the camera around, it will always be facing forward. The image, the video will always be facing forward. That is again a trick used by 360 cameras. I can show you some examples here, even ones that I've not shot, but from GoPro what horizon lock means, and it is kind of a really good innovation for extreme intense action shots. If you're going to be more just doing basic vlogging or shooting beauty shots or using just slight movements, just walking around in a forest, in a desert, I don't know, then the Hero 10 is probably going to be absolutely fine because the stabilization does work really well for just moving around slightly. I mean, even in intense action shots, it's going to do pretty well, but it's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be movement. I wouldn't always trust the promotional videos you see from even YouTubers, but especially from GoPro themselves, because they really put it in perfect conditions, and it's very hard to get these cameras in perfect conditions where it's going to work absolutely as you want it to. Now, the footage I've shot with both of these cameras they're both straight out of the camera. I've not done any editing or anything, so bear that in mind. You can improve the quality of both of these cameras. If you have a program like Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve and you want to do color correction, you can get really, really good quality footage from both of these. But yeah, I mean, I just question the kind of necessity of a full action camera like the GoPro Hero 10. Mostly because, well, our phones now also have really good cameras, especially if you have something like an iPhone or the latest Samsung or the latest Huawei or anything like, basically the latest, greatest phone from any of the main phone manufacturers. They all have amazing cameras. You can get really high quality footage. So if you are looking for something that you want more action stuff with, that's fine, but why not just go with the Max, because it's way better at the action stuff, I think. I think the Max is way better as an action camera. I think the Hero 10 is better for cinematic stuff, for vlogging, that kind of stuff. Even though it is designed as an action camera, I just don't think it works as well. And I think shooting stuff for Instagram and TikTok, which is what most of us are doing these days, the Max, the downside of the Max, which is the lower quality, isn't so much of an issue because we're mostly watching things on our phone. So we don't need 5.3K displayed on a phone. If you're shooting for a laptop screen or a TV screen, then yeah, you're gonna need that quality, but for most of the time, footage for the Max looks great on my phone, so I'm not too worried about quality. Where the GoPro Max does struggle and where the Hero 10 is definitely way ahead is the different frame rate options you have. One of the main upgrades of the Hero 10 that GoPro really pushed is the new chip that's inside the camera, and it basically is way more powerful. It allows for much faster processing, it allows for much faster frame rates than before. You can shoot slow motion, 240 frames per second, at 1080p, I think it is. That's pretty impressive for such a small device. And the main thing, which is that 5.3K at 60 frames per second, that is something that has been, we've been waiting for a long time. That allows you to shoot very smooth footage at a very high resolution, which has not been possible before. So the options you have with the Hero 10 are way more than with the Max, especially on the highest settings. So I understand if you want highest quality, then once again the Hero 10 proving it is much more suited for that. Now I must mention that the Max has another mode. I mentioned it before, it's called Hero mode. That basically allows you to shoot normal video, as in non-360 video, using just one of the lenses. However, the resolution of that mode is limited to 1440p, and it basically works just like a Hero camera. You just aim using the lens that you choose, and you can choose either lens, you can aim with the lens you can choose, and just shoot normally. Now I think this is a fairly good mode. Again, it has great stabilization, similar to the Hero 10 to be quite honest, but the quality is a lot lower. You can see here side-by-side comparisons. It's definitely more of a fisheye effect. You can edit this in the camera. You can make it so that it looks less fisheye. But then you lose some quality the more linear you go, which is the more, I guess, normal kind of looking video, then the lower the quality is going to be. So yeah, in terms of quality, this mode is not anywhere near the Hero 10, but it's nice to have. It basically means the Max can be used as two different kinds of cameras in one. But what about audio? Because that is something that is now becoming more and more important. I think people less and less want to buy different accessories and different peripherals for the cameras and stuff. They just want things to work straight away. That includes audio. So I tested the audio in a very, very windy place. That probably was not the best place to test it, but let's take a listen at both cameras and see how it went. Guys, I am in the Canary Islands testing the GoPro Hero 10 and the GoPro Max. These are the two top offerings from GoPro. Now, I did a comparison last year for the Hero 9 and the Max, so I'm doing another one with the Hero 10. So yeah, I am in a very windy place. I'm not sure how well you can hear me. This is kind of a test of the microphones. I'm not sure how well it's dealing with the winds, as you can see. So, I mean, yeah, that was probably not the best place to test this. I mean, again, it probably is the most challenging audio test you could put these cameras through, and you can still kind of hear my voice, and they both have a wind reduction mode, so, I mean, you can judge for yourself how well that works. Both of these cameras are also waterproof. You can see me dunking it here into a swimming pool, and they both survive. The issue with using the Max underwater is the fisheye effect in the lenses that allow it to shoot this 360 mode does kind of distort things underwater. That water was so cold. I was going to go in the swimming pool and go properly swimming, but trust me, it was so cold I just couldn't do it. But yeah, the Hero 10 shooting crystal clear underwater footage, and it's waterproof up to 33 feet, which means yeah, I could have dived to the bottom of that pool and it would have been fine. So guys, I think that's just about it for my comparison. I mean, I haven't gone into literally every detail about both of these cameras because they are very different. There's not really much point. If I was comparing the Hero 10 to the Hero 9, I would go through every setting and everything that is possible with the cameras and do that. But because these are two very different cameras, they're meant for different things. Like I said, basically, it's the same conclusion I had last year with the Hero 9 versus the Max. The Hero range is meant for highest quality, sharpest video, super cinematic, a lot of editing options, a lot of frame rate options. It does that really, really, really well. The Max is designed for creativity. It's designed for you to be not worrying about what you're shooting. You just can literally hold the camera, attach it to anything, go out and shoot, and you don't have to worry about where it's pointed, what it's shooting, where it's shooting, because it's going to capture everything all the time. But then you have a lot more options in your editing process. It also takes a lot longer. You have to learn some things which you probably haven't learned before, but it's fun. If you like editing, then you will get a lot of creativity, you'll get a lot of fun out of this camera. It's also, I think, better for super intense action shots and for anything that's moving, essentially. So the GoPro Hero, the Hero 10 is slightly more expensive than the Max. I mean, it is the brand new camera. It has just been out, I think, a few months. So yeah, it is a little bit more expensive. Just check the description below. I will find the cheapest place that's selling these cameras, and if there's any deals, I will obviously point that out. To really sum it up quite simply, guys, if you want the highest quality photos and videos at the best frame rates, then you're gonna go for the Hero 10. If you want more creativity and you love to edit and you want complete control over your video, then go for the Max. It's still great, even though it's a little bit older. It's still probably one of the top 2 360 cameras out right now, I would say. So yeah, that's it guys. Let me know what you think. What would you prefer? Would you prefer the creativity of the Max, or do you prefer the high quality footage of the Hero 10? So that's it guys. I hope you found this video useful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I will be back with some more videos soon, so stay tuned and subscribe if you are into that. But until then, I will see you around. Bye.